And the first thing I have to say is that this light was provided to me by a great video maker at no cost to me, so I figured I'd declare that up front. And this is a review of a light that was sent to me. Now, I get a lot of offers of sending out products to review, and I usually turn most of them down, and I'm trying to just pick products that look like they might have a fit with my subscribers and might have some interest in them. So I thought this was a pretty cool new product here, and what it is, it's a video light, and this is how it came packed. It was in a just in an Amazon box, and it's packed in a really super nice carrying case. It does come with a very sturdy stand. I bought those other newer lights, and those stands on them are just so rickety, and they're falling apart already and stuff like that. So this really is, it's really nice to see that this does have a nice sturdy stand on it that's really easy to adjust. And it came with some paperwork, and I'll show you what that one card says in the end. That's the only thing I don't agree with. And basically, it's a really nice high CRI light setup that starts out as a ring light, if that's how you want to use it, just as a plain ring light. And it does come, mine came with one extra cable. It should have two. I guess this is just a demo model that I got, so it may be missing a cable, but the production ones come with two, and came with a power adapter there, and a nice really long, about a 10-foot power cord for the adapter, and a little adapter for your camera there. And then the thing that really makes this unique are the light bars that plug in around the ring, and there's what they look like. There are 6 of these bars included. Really nice storage area for them in the case. Now, this whole thing is basically made out of plastic, so it's not something that's going to take a lot of abuse over time. I don't think, but for the average user like me, it should really last if you're careful and you don't knock things over, bang things and break them. So there's what the kit looks like. I got the stand, the ring light, the bar lights, and as I said, there's supposed to be 2 cables that come with this. I just have one, and you'll see I did post some of the specs on the as we're going along here. And there's a little camera adapter comes with it, and then the power cord and the actual power brick there, along with a really well made carrying bag and some instructions there. All the sewing and everything looks good, no open seams or anything, so I must say this is a real high quality one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it up here in my great room, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And there's a stand, I got that set up, and then the ring light goes on there. And you can use this as just a ring light. You don't have to have everything plugged into it. Then there's a camera, little bracket that your camera mounts on, but I did find out that this bracket is really not that adjustable for my cameras. It looks like you may need to make, to modify it a little bit, or make little adapters depending on the camera model that you have and type of mount and everything else. But it does have a 1/4-20 little screw on the bottom there. That's a standard camera screw, and there you can see there's my old Canon camera on there, and it doesn't come close to being on center or fitting right. So it does need some little adapters, I guess, for certain cameras. Then the power cord plugs right in there, and there's a little switch on the back there to turn the actual light itself on and off. And there you can see there's a display on it that gives you an indication of the color temperature and the power level. When that button on the right hand side there is lit, you're getting the degrees Kelvin number, and you can see it's fully adjustable with no steps on it. It's really pretty cool. And then when you go to that left green light, you hit the button again, and it goes to your power level, which really goes from 0 to 100% there. And it does It does step nicely. The only thing is everything lags behind. When you change a setting, you have to give it like 10 seconds to wait for it to catch up. So there I just threw my GoPro in there to kind of give you an idea of, you know, how a camera should be fairly centered in there. And, you know, this is kind of just the first looks at it being turned on. You can see as I change the color temperature on it, you can see it starts to turn yellow, and you can see there's basically two sets of LEDs in there, it looks like. One at the low CRI rating and one at the high CRI rating, and it actually mixes them to get everything in between, which really, when you're looking at it with a camera, you don't realize how good a job it does, but I'm very happy. And I have no way to test it or check it, or, you know, no means to, so, you know, I'm going to go by the ratings that they give you. And then these 6 light bars, they just plug in around the outsides of it like that, and that's what really you know, makes this unit be unique here. It just these bars really just help spread the light out so nice and evenly. So there the bars plugged in, and same thing, full adjustability on the color range. And then this is that cable I showed you. I got one, but the normal one should come with 2. And you can just take 2 of the lights off of there, and they have a little plug where you can plug that cable into, and use them as a remote light to get into, you know, different areas and stuff. One thing is, even with the power off, these other lights work if you have them plugged in. So the power switch has no effect on them, and the color change on them does not follow the color change on the other lights when they're not plugged in around the ring. So, you know, there is a slight difference when you're using them remote like this, but it's really a great feature when you want to get rid of a shadow or move one around a little bit, and I really like it. Now, this did not come with a gimbal, but I had one laying around that I used for my other camera, and I decided to just throw it on there because I felt it would make it more useful. Because you never want the light flat up against stuff like that. You always want to try to, you know, get it aimed at what you're shooting at. And so, you know, here you can see with the gimbal, I'm able to turn it slightly on the stand, and you have to really be careful too that you don't knock it over at that point. So, seeing how I only have the one good camera, really, I decided to take this into the this bathroom that I've been remodeling to give you an idea of you know, how this color temperature affects everything and how the lighting works in a really tight space. Because, you know, that's a problem that I'm always running into with a small house trying to get good lighting. And it pretty much amazed me the difference that adjusting the color temperature made in the look of the wood, the look of the sink, the look of the color of the paint on the wall, of just about everything. And there you can see I'm just kind of swinging through a couple different changes on it. And this really is a great way to select the lighting for a room, I think, because you can just kind of play with the different colors and set it exactly where you want, and then go back and look for bulbs that, you know, meet these specs. Plus, this light actually has a very high CRI rating. It's like a 97 CRI, so everything is really, you know, really natural looking under it. And you don't get the kind of reflection that I got off the old camera top LEDs. You can see you get a little bit of a reflection. If you're shooting into somebody's eyes, you might see like a star shape in there, or something like that, but seems to handle the reflection well, and be really, you know, just the brightness and the adjustability of the color of the actual light itself. Here you can see I can, you know, give the same vanity all different kinds of looks, just depending on what I do with the brightness and the color changing. So I think this light's going to be really, you know, going to be really great to help me with all my videos in the future. And now, like those other box lights that I have, they just have 2 settings for color, one at 3200, one at 5400, nothing between, where these between levels are what really can make a difference. Plus, this is really nice and compact, and I can squeeze it in, you know, there. And there's with the camera off center of it. You can see it really not much reflection, and it really does do a good job, I think. So then I'm just going to get a measurement here of the diameter of it, or across here. It's about 31 inches when it's all assembled across there. And it's only about 3 inches thick, so you can put it right up against a wall or whatnot. And there it is at the low position. It's down around 30 inches. And with the stand at the high position, actually that's a 8-foot ceiling. And you can see I can still go up a couple more inches. And you can just see how I can get that light back out of the way and still get my videos and change the whole atmosphere based on the color temperature. So it's really going to be a fun new light to use in my videos, I think. And as you can see, I actually have no real experience with video lighting, and don't really know a lot about it. So I'm just kind of going by what I see here, and I'm really very pleased. And there I decided to just try it on my camera tripod too, just to give me a little more flexibility and adjustability. And there you can see I was able to mount it right there on the mount. And whether you're looking through the center of it with the camera, through the center you get zero shadows. That's really nice. Or from the side, it's really a good light. So then I decided to go down in the shop and try it out where I do a lot of my videos. And these are those two big light boxes that I had bought a couple months back, and I've been using them, but they're really kind of always in the way, it seems like. They're very top heavy, and the stands are a pain to deal with. So this is going to be, great addition. And I also noticed on the side of this, there's a couple of these like hot shoe type brackets here that you could put a microphone or whatever, other little items too. And these are the lights I've been using for, mostly now, and I'll be so glad to get away from them, because you always get like this bright glare at the top of the video and shadows at the bottom. So here we are. This is just the the light ring turned on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go turn on the box lights in a second. So there you can see it's fairly decent lighting, little bit of shadows and stuff, but not much. And then I'm going to turn on the that diffuser box on the left there. You can see that gets rid of a lot more shadows. And then I'm going to snap on the one on the right there. Take it over there, and you can see that pretty much the only way to really get rid of any shadows in lighting is to use multiple lights. You'll never get it all with one light like this, but I feel this one does a really good job. And there you can see with all the color temperatures and the brightness, it's really does give you a lot of adjustability. And being able to aim it where you want it is nice with a gimbal too. So that's one thing I'd recommend that you get if you do try some of these. And there, that's without the big lights on. So now I'm going to pull that one wand off. You can see when you pull it off, you plug it in. See how that color of that changes back to a kind of like a central color. But it's still good. It does. It's good if you want to get under and light up something, or just get rid of shadows on something. And it does work good. And after a while, if you make a couple adjustments, the color will change slightly, but it just never perfectly matches the ring once it's on that cable. And also, it's always on. With that cable plugged in, you can turn the light off, and the bar light there that's plugged in on the cable remains lit. So that's really a great feature, and it would be kind of nice if there were some magnets or something on it, so you could stick it to different surfaces, so that you could illuminate all kinds of areas at the same time. But you can get rid of all kinds of shadows down in pockets and stuff like that with it. So I think it's going to be real handy to show some details and stuff too, when I'm doing the woodworking. And the great part about it is that when you're done with it, you can just snap it apart and put it back in the bag. Now everything fits. There's a spot for everything in the bag. They did a good job. Big pocket for the ring light there, and then a custom made pocket that these lights just fit in there perfectly. No fighting or anything else to get them in. So the 6 of them just slide side by side. And that's got Velcro to close it up. And then there's a pocket for the cables, for the light bar cables there. And that little bracket for the camera. And then there's a big pocket for the power supply and the cabling for it. And, you know, the power supply does have a quite a nice long cord on it for plugging it in. So that's going to be handy too. And then this stand actually folds up very quickly. And a little rubber thing to put over the thread so you don't damage them. Just drop that in place here, close it up, zipper it up, and a little bit over a minute you're packed up and, you know, everything's safely padded and ready to go to move on to the next location. So this is just, you know, really my first look at it, and I'm really happy so far with what I've seen, and you know, this will be used in all my follow-up videos from now on, so we'll get to see how it stands up and how it performs over time, and, you know, if there's any changes that I'd make. Now, there's one thing that I really don't understand why the company is doing it. And in the box, they actually put a card that says that they'll give you $20 for a good review on Amazon. Now, you know, I don't see where items like this need to, you know, be paid for a good review on them because, you know, it does really work and get the job. I guess I would rather really just see them knock $20 off the price so more people can afford an item like this. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.